Today is 35 days before the Philippine elections. Every day, the news is overwhelming. And even if we want to speak up, iniisip natin, paano kung mabash ako? I invited radio DJs and podcasters Riki, Flo, and Tin to talk about that in this episode of Paano Ba To? Welcome to Paano Ba To? Bishis. Did I say that correctly na?
Yes!
Yeah. So,
Bishi.
it's April. Konti na lang. May
Oh my gosh.
2022 na.
God. So tiring.
It
But
is
it's gonna be
tiring.
worth it. It's gonna be worth I feel it.
That's
Can we
true.
talk about how tiring it is? Like,
It is
it's really
tiring.
tiring. I think we're all walking on eggshells because we don't know who we're talking to. People think it's just a choice that you make every so often, every few years. But medyo nagkakaalaman na ng values, especially this elections.
Agree.
What's
Kakapagod
tiring
kasi
for you, Tin?
every time I read something, I really get affected. Even if it's not like against me. But when I see things na I know are not true, na ilang beses na na-disprove, I get so affected. I get angry. And then when I get angry, I get pagod. It's tiring. And it's been like this literally since October.
Yeah,
And
that's
we said
true.
this. We said this like, oh my God, this is going to be so tiring until May. Ito na nga. Ito na tayo.
Grabe. It does take so much mental space, which is why it's also understandable that there are still people who are apolitical or want to stay away from politics kasi nga they're protecting their peace, they want positivity, ganyan. And so with this conversation, I hope that someone listening to this who is still trying to stay away from it will speak up, whatever your stand is. I'd like us all to try to give advice to those people who are still trying to find their voice politically for several reasons. The first is that fear of what others will say, fear of getting bashed, fear of being canceled, which is super real.
I campaigned for Ocho Derecho in 2019, right? Like, I went into that alone. Wala akong kaalam-alam. I was asked if I could host the Meeting de Avance. So, parang Meeting de Avance, oh my God, I've never done anything like that in my life. It sounds like such a huge responsibility. Diba? Kaya ko ba to? And then I just said, whatever. I'll do it because I know in my heart that this is right, that these are good people, that they can be good leaders, right? I posted about it and I lost thousands upon thousands of followers. And I got so many hate messages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And they would really say na, ay nako, idol kita dati. Ngayon, Ocho Derecho sa Inodoro ko din. You know, I would get messages like that na parang, whoa guys, wait lang, ano nangyayari, diba? And I was alone. So now naman, fast forward 3 years later, na I have my bishi with me. The experience is really so different. Na I don't feel alone. I don't feel like malulunod ako sa kalakihan ng ginagawa ko kasi mag-isa lang ako lumalangoy. Alam mo yun? It's a lot wilder now than it was 3 years ago. It's shocking how much has changed. But since I'm not alone anymore, I don't feel as affected.
So a bishi, a support system, a bishi who believes in the same thing you do.
I think it's very important.
This is so timely because I was just speaking with a friend and she's really trapped in this situation where she lives with her in-laws and they're all part of the misinformed. They're the ones who have consumed fake news for years, who stick to a narrative. She hears the daily flack of it and she can't say anything kasi apolitical yung asawa niya. And so she says, honestly, I don't know what's worse. It's if you don't care or if it's you're siding with somebody who's so horrible for the job. And so I felt so bad because look at us, we're so free. We get to bounce off each other's energies. And Bianca, you were just saying that the feeling of, diba, you're one with and then you have some people like her who really are so they're birds in a cage. Alam mo yun? And I felt so bad because what do you say to that?
What did you say to that?
Come with us. Tell her, Bishi. House to house tayo.
Kasama
Like,
sila
let me
sa house to
drop by.
house. This is actually something that I still struggle with, believe it or not. Like, there are so many issues that parang you want to voice out, but you end up choosing your battles. And I still have that fear of what others will say. It's super alive. I think one thing that helps me is yung saying na parang, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And I think that might help someone who feels a bit scared pa to stand up. When you do declare what you believe in, the people who believe in the same thing as you show up. You see them, uy, dito din pala,
Yes.
uy, dito ka din, parang ganon.
Yes.
So that somehow helps manage the fear. It never really goes away, but it helps manage it. A lot of people don't want to speak up or choose to stay away from politics because they feel like, isa lang ako, my one voice doesn't matter. What's your advice?
Imagine if everyone in the world thought that. Feeling ko, nung 2016, sobrang dami nag-isip niyan. Why would my vote matter? Guess what? Your vote could have mattered. But ganda, kasi parang lahat sila also posted last year na they were lining up to register. That gave me so much hope. If a vote matters, then your voice matters.
Yeah. You, Riki.
I would say that that is a very wrong mindset to be in. And that we should all be taught at a young age to want to vote and to want to elect good leaders. Like, I feel like that's one of the qualities that should be instilled in the youth. And I was having a conversation with my cousin about this, and she said that she believes it's our sacred duty to break the unhealthy patterns of our parents and ancestors. And like maybe being apolitical is something that shouldn't be passed on and that should be corrected at an early age. Because like now we see that the youth, they're so strong. It's a good thing actually to see them this strong and this passionate about something. Are we still considered the youth? Are we still youth?
Ouch.
Tama pa tayo sa youth vote.
Talking about them like they're another entity. This vote is for you. Your vote is for you. It's
Yeah.
also for me. So if you don't make the right choice, you're making an uninformed decision for me and for everybody else.
Dito sa my one voice doesn't matter, I want to share with you to a story of, actually, it's my editor. Her name's Kirsten. She's 26 and she said that this was also the first time she registered. To your point, Tin, dati kasi she was a student, she didn't really feel it. And she also said that one thing that really pushed her to register to want to vote is how she saw things happen in the last few years. Sabi niya na kung hindi pa ako mag-register, kung hindi ako bumoto, wala akong karapatan magreklamo. Kasi reklamo na siya. Like, she wants to post about all her feelings, but she said, it doesn't count because I didn't vote. And so she
Yeah.
wanted to vote. And I was
Smart.
like, thank you, God.
Smart.
It just takes one person to stand up. Like, you just have to know one person.
Yeah. See? So you're not just one person.
Oo.
You are one person.
Yes.
Okay, last. This is with regards to speaking up about issues, news that you see. A lot of people would rather not voice out because they feel like, I don't know enough about it, or ayoko magmarunong, or baka magkamali ako ng sasabihin. What's your advice?
Ayaw mo marunong kasi feeling mo hindi mo alam, di ba? Eh di alamin mo. Kailangan mo alamin. You cannot walk around blind. I mean, this isn't a joke. This is our life. This is our future. Kung di mo alam, edi alamin mo. Kasi kailangan.
Yeah, and I think nga, trying to find out more about it is more important than the voicing out.
Yeah.
Like, that's the step one. And then, hey, if you feel like sharing what you know, then great. But
Agree.
yeah. How about you, Riki?
We always say this to anybody who asks us, like, how do you try to start the conversation with somebody you know you're trying to convince? And I always say, like, as long as you know the truth, and like Tin said, you have to know the truth, then speaking out is like the least of your worries. As long as you stand by the truth, parang you'll know that after you voice it out, you'll feel really good about yourself and you'll find other like-minded people who also stand by the truth. As long as you can back up what you're saying and as long as you believe what you're saying, you should have nothing to worry about. And that's what's so fascinating about the last few months is so many people who were so silent before, all of a sudden they're speaking out about their choice and they're taking the backlash. And I really want to believe that it's because they also feel good standing by the truth.
And another thing that I actually find useful, which is also part of the tiring thing for me, I try to balance what I expose myself to. Sobrang ayokong nasa echo chamber ako. So minsan, kahit masakit, I read things that other people believe just so I can see another side of it, just so I can zoom out. And so sometimes, kunyari, when I see an issue and I'm so upset right away, di ba, lalo na kapag kunyari makita mo yung headline, yung quote card, sinabi, and I feel the urge talaga to parang, what? Rant. As hard as it is, I try to zoom out and also read the other takes on it, just so that at least when you do finally decide to say something about it, it comes from a more well-rounded place. But like you said at the very, very start, Tin, it's all going to be worth it.
It really is. It has to be. It has to be. Like,
Imagine if not.
it has to be.
Good luck to us.
Yeah. I'm just really happy. You know, I look around and I look at my teammates and I'm pretty happy with the cards that I've been dealt. Like I said, if you stand for truth, then you should be fine.
You know, one thing that I have observed, especially in the past months, that so despite the toxicity, we all want what's best for the country. The tricky part is we all define that differently.
Pero palapit na
Wow.
palapit to May 9, honestly, lumalakas yung loob ko.
Totoo.
Hey, thank you,
Tomorrow's
Bishis. Super
No, thank
appreciate
you.
this. You can listen to the longer conversation with Riki and Tin on Paano Ba To The Podcast exclusively on Spotify. And also, be aware and get involved. Follow Vote Pilipinas on their social media accounts. And, so important, the hashtag FactsFirstPH. If you want to hear more from Riki and Tin, you can connect with them online. Till next time, supers!